Hello?
Extro.
Hello?
Extro.
The Mutilator.
Good evening everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action, and I am back for a December movie update, DVDs and Blu-rays. And as you may have noticed by that intro, if you've been paying attention, welcome back to Extra the Mutilator, my favourite ever YouTuber who has finally decided to start making update videos again. If it was not for his channel back in 2010, I would not be doing any of this that you see now. Definitely one of the biggest inspirations to me in starting my own channel. So welcome back Extra, and this update is for you because it is all movie based. And in the background we're listening to a very horror themed soundtrack. This is Multiplex Massacre from Blood Freak, US death thrash band, bit of death grind, another one of those many bands on Razorback Records that feature the same members as Frightmare and bands like that. There's about 3 or 4 bands that all share the same members. This is actually the third album from Blood Freak. If you told me it was a Frightmare album, I completely believe you because the riffs are very similar. It's horror themed, it's fast, it's a bit punky, and it's good stuff. So that's what we're listening to in the background. First, we're going to look at some action DVDs. This one just came in today. This is The Second Amendment, which is a new Casper Van Dien. I love the old Casper. I don't know anything about it. It just looked like fun DTV action, and that's what I'm all about. Not too sure who Ryan Phillip is, but I guess he's the star on this one. It's from the executive producer of The Hurt Locker, film I never bothered watching. In America, this is just called The Second. They dropped Amendment off it, I'm not sure why. Maybe that's a bit touchy to call it The Second Amendment, I have no idea. But anyway, it's a movie that has a guy holding a gun on the cover, and it's rated MA for violence, so I'm sold, and it was cheap. Because JB Hi-Fi is currently having a 30% off sale, or at least they were a couple of days ago, and I finally picked this one up for like $8 or something, so stoked to get that. Looking forward to checking that one out. As I am this one, cautiously, I've been told it's pretty bad. Welcome to Sudden Death, but it's Michael J. White, so I'm in for $1 and I'm in for £1. That's a very uninspiring cover, isn't it? Anyway, this is I don't know if it's a sequel or a remake or whatever of Van Damme's Sudden Death. The trailer looks cool because the trailer has this fight, and that fight looks cool, but maybe that's all we're going to get that's any good. The film is a measly 77 minutes long, so I hope it's action-packed. There would be nothing worse if that was like 72 minutes of talking heads and then 5 minutes of fights. But we will see. As I said, it's not been getting great reviews. There's no Blu-ray, there's only DVDs, and we got a DVD in Australia, so I picked it up for $6.95 or something, really cheap. Hopefully it's good. I got a couple of DVDs from Germany. Lady Dragon. I can't use Amazon Germany anymore, Amazon.de. They don't ship to Australia, which is a shame. They used to, now they don't. So I use a company called Grooves Inc., who also are an eBay seller, but they have their own shop. Very reliable, I found, and I did another order. And I got Lady Dragon with Cynthia Rothrock and Richard Norton and Robert Ginty. This one's fun. I mean, the presentation's only just above VHS. I mean, it's pretty grimy, 4x3, completely not remastered. I think the film was shot in, is this one shot in Indonesia? I think that's one might be. She did a couple of films, some from Rapi Films, RAPI Films. I think they were Indonesian, but anyway. So this one's a fun movie, and I'm glad to have a DVD of it. I never had a DVD. It's actually got dual covers, which is nice. I kind of like the other one too. So there you go. Just a shot of her. So there you go, man. That's David Worth's Lady Dragon, which I then followed up with Lady Dragon 2. Very happy to get this one. This one's actually 16:9 enhanced. Again, it's not super wonderful quality, but it is widescreen and it is enhanced for widescreen TVs. And I like this one. It's a bit grimier. It starts with sort of a rape scene, I think, from memory. It's got Billy Drago playing Billy Drago. He is an evil bastard in this one. And there's stuff in German on the back that I don't know what the hell it says, of course, but it says 7 Minuten lange Fassung. I don't know, hopefully that says it's 7 minutes longer than some other previous editions. No idea. There's the other cover. So, yeah. It's also called Angel of Fury, which is what my VHS was, and I'm glad to get this because my VHS was on the way out, so very good. Lady Dragon 2. This one, I cannot believe my luck sometimes, so I've been complaining for a while about getting a copy of Laserhawk, which is a sci-fi, I don't want to say kids movie, but it's definitely pretty family-friendly science fiction, fantasy kind of thing. I wanted to see it for ages. The cover really sold me. And I was talking to Extra, I've been talking to a few other people about it, and yeah, just trying to find a copy that was affordable. I walk into an Australian charity shop, and the Region 1 split with Spoiler with Gary Daniels, which I have separately, but anyway, this is the completely out of print York Entertainment DVD from 20 years ago, and it's sitting in an Australian charity shop. I'd love to know the backstory on how it got there, but anyway. So, yeah, I like these double features. I've got another one. Just nice presentations. It's just a full screen thing, but that's all there is. It looks nice. But yeah, it's a PG-13 rated sort of sci-fi adventure film with Mark Hamill playing a nuthouse crazy, or is he, you know? It's got, you know, aliens, it's got some spaceship stuff, it's got government conspiracies. It's good fun, and it's light. It's very light. So I enjoyed Laserhawk, and I'm very, very happy and lucky to find that DVD locally, because we didn't get one, of course. Another cheap one I picked up locally, Flight of the Black Angel, going in blind, no idea. It's just an action film with a renegade pilot armed with a nuclear missile. Only one man can stop the Angel of Death, and I'm assuming that's Peter Strauss and William O'Leary, so there you go. Not much else to say, it's just a standard cheap early DVD from MRA, and yeah, jet fighters blowing stuff up. I'm hoping that's what will happen. Some more from my JB order. I wanted to get some cheap Nicolas Cage, and these two looked pretty interesting. I think they're meant to be fairly good. This one's A Score to Settle, looking very much like a revenge, hard-hitting revenge action film, this one. But yeah, haven't seen it yet. It got the MA for strong violence, sex scenes and drug use, so there you go, that's always pretty good. Yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. Probably the first one of the 2 Cage films I will watch. The other one I got was Primal, which, I don't know, is he a big game hunter or something? It says the hunt begins, so maybe people are hunting him, maybe this is Deadly Prey. What do we got on the back here? Blah blah blah. It does involve releasing animals, a ship thrown into chaos, a battle to save the crew, not from the dangerous beasts aboard, but from the madman on the loose. Man, it'd be great if he was the madman. You know, like Mandy level madman, but it probably isn't. Anyway, it looks fun. You know, tight running time, and a bit of Nicolas Cage doing some direct-to-video action. 3 more German Blu-rays I got from Grooves. It's no shock to anybody that I love myself a Scott Adkins movie, and I've got to that point now where I'm like, no, DVD will not do. Sorry Region 1, sorry Region 4, I want high-def Adkins, so I go to Germany, the last bastions of physical media, and this is No Surrender. Haven't seen this guy, this one's from about 2018. I believe it is a Egyptian financed and shot in Egypt film. So he's on the front cover, right? But it's also sharing the bill with Amir Carrara, who is behind him, I guess, and I'm assuming is 95% of the screen time. I know how these things work, but I am a bit of an Adkins completist, so... And the ratings actually on IMDb are reasonably high, like it's nearly a 6 out of 10, which is pretty ridiculous for IMDb. That's basically 12 out of 10 in real life. So anyway, hopefully it's going to be some fun action and not some boring Egyptian drama, and we will see. No Surrender. It has another name, which I've forgotten, but it is sort of an Egyptian title, so anyway. One Man versus One Army. Hopefully he is the One Army. Also got Debt Collector 2, also called Debt Collectors everywhere else besides Germany. Germany, smarter. Put the numbers... I hate this trend of having sequels that have the same name as the original, like, you know, Halloween. Which one are we talking about? Are we talking about 78? Are we talking about the bloody remake from what's his face director that sucks? I can't remember his name because he sucks so much. Or are we talking about, you know, the film from 2 years ago? So anyway, Debt Collector was a fun Adkins, and is it Lewis Mandelaw? Yeah, it is Lewis Mandelaw, who's an Australian guy. He puts on his pretty strange accent in this one. Every now and then you can hear the Australian coming through. And that film ended, spoiler alert, with both him and Scott appearing to be dead. And then they start this film with like, hey, where have you been? Hey, I don't know, where have you been? And it's actually quite funny. Needless to say, they're not dead. Fun film, hard-hitting action. The fights are fantastic from both of them. Yeah, I think it's actually better than the first film. But you know, they're just fun, hard-hitting direct-to-video action. Big fan. It's a Jesse V. Johnson film. He is doing excellent action films at the moment. And yeah, he did Avengement, which was like actually is probably my favourite Adkins film and one of my favourite direct-to-video action films ever. It's just such a well-done film, and that's one of his. So there you go, that's Debt Collector 2, I recommend it, it's very good. And this one I haven't watched yet is Seized. It's actually pretty new, with Mario Van Peebles there with a giant hat. Looks great. This one is a Isaac Florentine film, which is doubly exciting because Isaac Florentine was sort of the original go-to director for Scott's films. Very high-hitting action quotient with Isaac and Scott. Always making good films. You know, Close Range. I think Ninja was his ones. Yeah, plenty of them. But anyway, so Seized looks good. I'm assuming, yeah, Mario is going to be the bad guy in this. I can't tell. Everything's in German on the back. But if it's Scott versus Van Peebles, I'm in for it. And yeah, German blue, and you know, it's got English audio, and that's all I really want. Again, I think the Americans got a DVD. I think Australia got a DVD, or is getting a DVD in like a week or so. But nah, high def Adkins, man. That's what I want. Some more high def stuff. We're pretty much Blu-ray all the way now. I got some new Severin titles. This is Black Cat, which I've always known but never seen as Demons 6. So this is a Luigi Cozzi film. You know, he did like Star Crash and Contamination, Paganini horror. You know, lots of classics and semi-classic Italian horrors. And the Black Cat, Demon 6, is one that I've really wanted to see for ages. It's been sort of living in Japanese VHS. I don't even think it had English subtitles or audio on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Might have been Italian with Japanese subs. But still, I've never seen it. So I'm really looking forward to checking it out. Obviously, it's a riff on Edgar Allan Poe's Black Cat. It probably has very little to do with that story. But yeah, it looks really good to me. And Severin are knocking out of the park. I mean, they're doing all the Bruno Mattei films, and they do unearthings of horrors like this. Which make me very happy. I wasn't too impressed with their lineup for November, leading up to Black Friday. Not much there for me this time, but that's fine. That saved my wallet a bit. But Black Cat in the last batch, very happy. Here's one. I mean, I cannot believe that they've upgraded this. Patrick Still Lives. Again, Italian film. This is a incredibly sleazy pseudo sequel in the best way that Italians did sequels of non-Italian films of the Australian film Patrick. He apparently still lives, even though, you know, he wasn't at the end of the original film. But this is super sleazy. I used to have the old Shriek Show DVD, and I had the uncut DVD. They had two different versions of it. They had the regular, pretty sleazy one, and then they had the XXX fully uncut one. That's the one I had, and that is the edition they put in here. Maybe they've got both versions, I'm not sure, but that is probably the default. 1980 Italian film. And yes, it is from the director of... where is it? I can't remember. Well, Giallo in Venice, which is super sleazy. Like one of the sleaziest Giallos ever. So, you know what? If you've seen that, and you apply that to Patrick, well, that's what you're going to get here. Patrick Still Lives... Italian pseudo sequel to Patrick. Not seen the transfer on it yet, but man, That's one sleazy film. And this one I'm going into not knowing much about. It just seemed pretty interesting to me. This is Shock Treatment. I don't know if they've made these cases fatter or what. They're really hard to get out of the slips. There you go. Shock Treatment from... I'm not too sure. I flipped the cover on this actually. And it's in black, so I can't see it. 1972 in English and French. So I think it is a French film. But yeah, I don't know too much about it. I know others were pretty excited about this, so I just sort of jumped on the bandwagon and thought, yep, I'll chuck it into the car. Yeah, some kind of thriller. It looks sort of giallo-ish to me, but I believe it is a French film, and short 86 running time, which I'm always happy about, and a nice slip. So yeah, can't say much more about it except it looks pretty interesting. And another one from Severin, cool slip too. And alright, we got some unearthed films here, and the first two are Ryan Nicholson films that they've been putting out. This is a live feed, which he did in like 2010 or something, like 2005 actually. Wow, it's going back a bit. I had the DVD, I watched it once way back, I don't remember too much about it, but I think it's sort of, yeah, your super violent Saw, modern style horror film. Involving a live television feed, or is it cinematic cinema being recorded for live TV feed or something, and it involves a butcher that stops butchering animals and butchers people and does it for entertainment. So yeah, one sleazy, slick looking thing, this live feed. Looking forward to checking it out again actually. So I remember very little about it. Get a card for Famine in there, which is another one of his films. So yeah, there you go, that's live feed. And then first time on Blue, this one is Gutter Balls. Now I know Andrew Balliner is a big fan of this one. It is a slasher film, modern slasher film, again, Ryan Nicholson, and I've never seen it. I know there's like 27 editions of this thing, and I don't know, I kind of didn't pay attention at the time. It sounds a bit juvenile, but basically Andrew's comment on how extremely gory it is for a slasher is why I picked this up. So it comes with the blue, and it comes with a full blue of outtakes, which is pretty interesting, like an entire blue of just behind the scenes outtakes and stuff. 40 hours of extras, are you kidding me? Bloody hell. Anyway, it's got the Penetration edition, so I think that was the one with the bowling pins on the cover. I don't know. Maybe there's multiple editions on here. But anyway, it seems pretty violent and sick and sleazy. So anyway, we'll check out Gutter Balls finally, after ignoring it for so long. Speaking of sick and violent, The Untold Story. Wow. This Cat 3 classic from, when was this, like 80 something, 90 something. It's actually pretty recent in the grand scheme of things. It's like 91 or something. I can't remember exactly. It's not written on the back. But anyway, it has had plenty of DVDs over the years, and they've all been, just Hong Kong released DVDs that look okay. None of them I don't think were ever anamorphic. They've all been sort of letterbox. This film is a lot of fun. It is one of the most renowned Category 3 Hong Kong horrors, and involves, yes, a certain scene with chopsticks that everybody knows. But yeah, it's Anthony Wong and directed by Herman Yao. It has an interesting full-length 90-minute documentary on the whole Category 3 movement, or the films from like 88 to 96, sort of around that time. Talks a bit about the early Shaw Brothers horrors as well, that you could retroactively say, oh, were they Category 3? Category 3 is just, R-rated, that's all it means. Is they had Category 1, Category 2, Category 2B, and Category 3. That was the Hong Kong film rating system. And they designed Category 3 in like 1987, 1988 to capture all the things that they couldn't put for general release, and ended up becoming a thing where you would make a Category 3 film intentionally to get the rating, a bit like you make a hard R-rated horror film. It's no real different, but the documentary is really cool. It tells you about the, some of the films you wouldn't have seen. It interviews some of the stars, interviews Anthony Wong. And yeah, I mean, Untold Story itself is just a classic of the genre. It's sick and twisted, of course, but if you like a film about a guy that makes dumplings out of humans, it's like it's a Hong Kong version of Blood Feast in a way. But anyway, yeah, Untold Story, very good. There's no other art, so it's just a slip of the same art, which is a shame because I like the old Bun Man Hong Kong DVD art. They could have used that as a reverse, but anyway. And last two in this pile, we've got two Shudder Blu-rays. I've been buying the Shudder ones, and this is Yummy, which is a new zombie film. I like the title, it's just called Yummy. I know Extra watched it, he didn't think too much of it, but it sounds fun to me. Super gory zombies with a title called Yummy, set in a hospital mainly, I think, and yeah, it sounds fun to me, so I'm going to check out Yummy. I'm kind of funny with this, like I like buying these Shudder Blues. I don't have the Shudder subscription, so yes, I could watch these for free, but screw that. I'm here for the physical media. And the last one in this pile is Scare Package. This is a new anthology horror put out by Shudder as well, and it was pretty good. I think overall I enjoyed it. It was sort of all centered around this video store clerk that was telling stories, basically, and the stories formed the segments. And I think the segments were generally pretty good. There was a couple that fell a bit flat. The wraparound story was a bit average. I didn't think the main guy, I don't know, his comedy was not doing it for me, that's for sure. But anyway, overall it's pretty good. And this is the very cool embossed cover. It's like all embossed all over it, so it looks really nice. But yeah, it looks weathered, but that's not Amazon giving it a kick. It is just weathered, so really cool, nice slip. And yeah, like I said, it's good fun. It makes a big deal about having Joe Bob Briggs, but he is somebody that's lost on me. I'm not an American. We didn't get his show here, and yeah, I don't know much about him at all. So anyway, that's Scare Package, and yeah, quite good. So definitely check it out. And the price point's really good for Australians. So it's like 22 Australian, which is like 15 US or something. So really good. So yeah, check out Scare Package. Take a look at the second pile now. We've got some Vinegar Syndromes here. Picked up a few locally from a mate of mine. Was selling some. So I got these really cheap, and these are all the titles. This is Blood Mania and Point of Terror. I've been really curious, particularly about Point of Terror for quite some time. There was an old, was it like a Synapse DVD, I think? I never got that. So I'm actually really interested to check out Point of Terror. Blood Mania sounds pretty interesting as well. What years are these things from? 70 and 71, so from a good year for horror. And I've heard good things about Point of Terror. I haven't heard much about Blood Mania, so anyway. This is quite old, Vinegar Syndrome. You get 2 different discs, or 3 different discs actually. DVD, and Blu-ray. Won't be using the DVD, so anyway. There we go, Blood Mania and Point of Terror. And this is definitely one of the earlier ones, Nightmare Weekend, which is one of those horror films that I've heard most people say is pretty crap. But then there's people that are saying it's absolutely mind-bendingly awesome. So I don't think there's a middle ground for Nightmare Weekend. I'm curious to see where I fit. It looks pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's a slasher. It kind of looks like it. Head explosions, gratuitous nudity and softcore sex, bikers, roller skating, and telepathic hand puppets. Come on, that sounds fantastic. This has got to be good. Yeah. Film from 1985. Oh, it's got a Troma logo on it. Oh, okay. Now I see why it's divisive. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's got a Troma logo on it. So there you go. Nightmare Weekend. I reversed the cover. I didn't like the modern one very much, which is that. Didn't think much of that. I like this other one, which I guess is a VHS box art. With this, she actually looks a bit like Elvira if you look at it a bit. So there you go. When modern technology gets out of human control, Nightmare Weekend. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. Some newer ones from them now, from the October batch. I've got Necromancer. I think this is a really good, fun, supernatural American horror film. The old Image DVD was full screen and looked pretty crap. I watched it like 3 or 4 times. I haven't watched this new one. That's the VHS. The CBS Fox VHS that Australia had looked like this. The American DVD art was up here. I don't know, it kind of looks like that, but not really. It's yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It reminds me a lot of Evil Speak with sort of the pact to get your to get even. You know, the pact with the devil to get even. Evil Speak style. But Necromancer is more about getting even via a witch. So yeah, it starts with a pretty nasty rape of the young lady that was in the photo on the other side, and she goes to see a necromancer who casts a spell, and all of the perpetrators of that, which were like four or five guys in high school, they get visited by an evil version of the girl who just proceeds to destroy the boys. And man, I think it was a lot of fun. So I was very happy to get a nice high-def widescreen transfer of this film. And it's on VSA, and man, I find it hard to get their VSA titles back in without ripping up the plastic. Anyway, there you go. Necromancer, nice upgrade. Vinegar Syndrome are really doing good stuff at the moment. These are two that I know very little about, and I've forgotten the actual English titles, and they're wrapped in the slip. So anyway, I think as well, obviously Cemetery of Terror and Ladrones de Tombs. Tombs of something? Let's see if the inside helps. No, because that's also in Italian. Grave Robbers, there we go. So we have Grave Robbers and Cemetery of Terror, which I was right. So let's take out the slips and look at the film. So I've reversed this one, which is a VHS cover. So this one's Grave Robbers, and I've heard really good stuff from the director of Don't Panic, who they just released that title of as well. And here we go, here's Cemetery of Terror. So I don't know if these films are related or just from the same director, but yeah, I like Spanish horror, so I'm going to check out these two. This one's got Hugo Stiglitz in it, and this one has Fernando Armada in it. So there you go, Cemetery of Terror and Grave Robbers. So yeah, both from Mexican director. What's his name? Ruben Galando Jr. So there you go. Don't know much about them, can't talk much about them, but they look fun. Same with this one. I just got this one because it was cheaper to get the bundle. And yeah, don't know what I'm about to watch. This is Whodunit. 7 people are dead and you are next, which makes it sound like a slasher, and it's got like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing going on there. But I don't know anything about it. I like the alternate Island of Blood cover, which I flipped. It sounds pretty cool. From 1982, and involves diabolical deaths, which is always nice. And it's an interpretation of Agatha Christie's classic novel, And Then There Were None. So there you go, that gives me an idea what to look for. I'll go look up what that book was about. Yeah, Island of Blood. And the next one we've got, also from Vinegar Syndrome, is Deadly Games, Dial Code Santa Claus. There was a German release of this, I think, 2 years ago, and everyone was pretty hyped about it, and I think most people probably bought that. And I was so tempted, but it was expensive for a media book and all that kind of stuff. And now I don't have to worry about it. Vinegar Syndrome's put it out. It seems pretty cool, and this is the Dude Designs custom art, which I think is great. He does such good stuff. And this is I guess it's the French title, Code Père Noël. And it is a 4K Ultra HD as well as a Blu-ray. Yes, it's got the custom art beneath that. I don't have the capabilities for 4K, and I can't say that I probably ever will, but it's got the Blu-ray, so that's fine with me. And yeah, this is going to be, I think, my Christmas movie this year, and I don't know a great deal about it. I got sort of swept up with the whole buying the German edition last time, and everybody talking about it, but it involves, if we a quick look at it, a deranged maniac on the loose, an attack against the murderous Saint Nick. It sounds a bit like 3 or 4 different Christmas horror films that we all know. Dial Code Santa Claus. Anyway, 4K Ultra HD debut, 4K restoration from the 35mm camera negative, so it's not going to get any better than that. And that would mean it's a brand new transfer from Vinegar Syndrome, not using the German one, which is always good. VS don't do copies of other transfers, they always use their own. So anyway, Deadly Games, Dial Code Santa Claus. It looks like the entire war against Santa. Fun, I'm sure. This one I saw on VHS. I had the old CBS Fox Australian VHS. Rest in Pieces. That's the rear, and that's the new one. I much prefer this. That's, I think, the US VHS cover art. I like this. This was just a mid-80s horror film. Rest in Pieces, first time on disc format at all, and now on Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. Looking forward to checking it out again. Co-stars Dorothy Malone from The Big Sleep and Basic Instinct. They're real movies. And is pleasantly grotesque with gore effects that earned it an award, and that's enough for me to check it out again. So there you go. Rest in Pieces on Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. That's enough for VS. We're now going to move on to Eureka. And they released The Bride with White Hair. Eureka's putting out some great Asian upgrades. I'm definitely with Extra on this, that I tend to wait for Eureka or 88 Films or an American company to do Hong Kong or Chinese or Taiwanese or Japanese films, because so often those markets do upscales from DVD and they just don't do a good job. But then you give it to the Brits and you get these releases. The Bride with White Hair. Hopefully they do the sequel as well. Ronnie Yu film. This is from when? Like 93, Hong Kong film. So approaching the end of the Hong Kong classics era. And this is a great one. I've watched the DVD on Eastern Eye a couple of times. So it's a very worthwhile upgrade for me, this one. I didn't realise that Ronnie Yu was the director of The Bride of Chucky. Oh dear. Because that film is not that great, is it? But anyway. Highly operatic fable based on the well-known martial arts novel. And has Bridget Lynn about doomed lovers caught in a crossfire of warring clans, which is, yes, The Bride with White Hair. So, yeah, very cool to check this one out again. And cinematography by Peter Powell that did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So there you go. Nice upgrade. I'm sure it is anyway, I haven't popped the disc in yet. There you go, Bride with White Hair. And this one's a double feature, The H-Man and Battle in Outer Space, literally arrived 3 hours ago. So there's a really cheap Mill Creek American disc of this, and I nearly got it a few times, but then Eureka announced in their Masters of Cinema this edition, which is, well, for starters, it's on 2 Blu-rays instead of being smashed onto one, like the edition from Mill Creek. So there's H-Man and there's Battle from Outer Space, so instantly you're going to get better quality picture just for that. And look, Eureka treat these films with so much respect. I'll re-sleeve it later, I can't get that thing back in. But anyway, you get 2 covers. So this is the Battle in Outer Space cover, and I could flip it and get the full H-Man cover. It doesn't really matter because the slip there is on front. And yeah, so there's the H-Man cover behind the discs. Anyway, behind there, booklet for both, which goes into the films. Got some poster art and stuff in there, lots of info about the films. It's very nice. The one I've watched only is the H-Man, because I don't have that Mill Creek Blu-ray, but there was a, I'm not thinking about it now, there was a multi-pack that I don't know if it was Shout or somebody put out a multi-pack DVD that had 4 films on it, 4 or 5 films, and the H-Man was one of them, and I enjoyed that. So these are both Japanese films, and H-Man's about mysterious radioactive liquid dissolving people into slimy, sentient, seemingly indestructible blobs of destruction. And Battle in Outer Space is not. It's a space film. So anyway, there you go. That's H-Man and Battle from Outer Space. We're going to end with 3 box sets here. Man, these are really nice ones. This one came in today. This is the new Eureka, again, of Mothra. Wow, check that out. And it's a lot fatter than I thought too. Like, this is a proper hard box set. Pretty hard to tell from their imagery if you're going to get just a slipcover thing, but no. They've gone all out on this, and it's pretty tough to get out. So there you go, hard box. And cover. You get a poster, which is folded up, and a very, very nice, there's sort of the original poster, book going through all stuff about, presumably, Mothra. Interviews, looks like there's an interview in there. Mothra Utopia in Hell. which is, yeah, another interview. Got some photos and stuff. This looks like a really cool read. Very thick book. And again, this is another one that I think it was Mill Creek put on a steel book in the States. So it's possibly the same transfer. But again, very nice to get the Eureka edition here. English subtitles, and has it got a dub for people that want dubs? Yeah, well, it says English version, so I think it's got a dub. So there you go. Two different versions of the film. 101 minutes and 90 minutes, so there you go. I guess the English dub is a shortened version, like they did with some of the Godzilla films, so there you go. Mothra. I've never seen the standalone Mothra. I've seen pretty much all the Godzilla films at this point, but never seen the standalone Mothra, so very cool. Very happy to check this one out. And another great one from Eureka's Master of Cinema series. Rebox it later. And we got a local Blu-ray box that came out, which is based on a UK set. In fact, it's pretty much the same thing. Now for something completely different. This is the Monty Python Complete series. Flying Circus Complete series. Not the movies. This is the Flying Circus. I love Flying Circus. It's completely ridiculous. I grew up with it based on, my dad, he loved Flying Circus. Isn't that how most people my age got into Monty Python? Because their dad loved it? I'd say that's probably accurate. But anyway, this is through Viavision locally, but they're using the network prints. So this is going to have gone through the same restoration team, likely, that's been doing the Doctor Who restorations. I've watched the full first disc of season 1 so far, which is like half the season, I think. And the in-studio stuff, which was shot on tape, looks really, really good. They've cleaned it up. It obviously is from tape, so it's not true HD, but it looks really good. It looks better than the Doctor Who stuff on tape. There might have been better cameras, I don't know. But the film stuff and Terry Gilliam's cartoon little bits look like film. They look amazing. And there's a lot of that stuff. The series used a lot of 16mm outdoor footage. There's even apparently 1 or 2 35mm scenes they did. And of course, yeah, Terry Gilliam stuff. It's never looked or sounded this good. Great little box, comes out like that. And yeah, you've got the 4 individual series in there, which is really good. So if you like the zany madcap humour of Monty Python's Flying Circus, more so than the films, this is the best it has ever looked. I can't imagine it's ever going to be any better than this. The old DVDs look pretty crummy, and they've just gone back and restored the absolute hell out of it. So yeah, fantastic set. So either get the Australian one or the UK one. They're going to be identical, there'll be no difference. Not sure if there's an American set, but anyway. Great release. I got it for a really good price. JB's got their 30% off. If they've still got it, you can get it there for $105 instead of $150. And I had some Amazon credit, and they matched the price, so I ended up paying $83, including free shipping, which for this size set, I'm stoked with. Very happy with that. And the last one we're looking at is a box set that I have opened, admired, but not yet watched a single disc of. But I am really looking forward to checking out the Fu Manchu box set from Indicator. I'm very picky and choosy with my Indicator films. Many people collect the whole series like they collect other labels, but there's a lot of stuff in there I'm not too interested in. But the Fu Manchu cycle, which is the 1965 to 1969 films, definitely one I want to check out. The Face of Fu Manchu, The Brides of Fu Manchu, Vengeance of Fu Manchu, Blood of Fu Manchu, and Castle of Fu Manchu. Amazing box set presentation here. Obviously these are all Christopher Lee films. You get some art cards or photo cards. I haven't opened those up yet. Poster. Big fat booklet. It's actually more than a booklet. This is a book. Stuff about the films. Very nice. And then you get individual, I love their little slim pack sort of digibook things that they do. There's Castle, Blood, Vengeance, Brides, and the Face of Fu Manchu. So yeah, glorious stuff. Extra, other posters inside, and you get the Blu-ray disc. Really looking forward to diving into these. I only ever had, which one did I have? Blood of Fu Manchu on DVD, so that's the only one I've ever seen. And I like Blood of Fu Manchu. These are the kind of films you'll never do again. Like, you are never going to get somebody to do what Christopher Lee did there. That's just simply not on anymore. It's not going to happen. But man, as a time capsule of this era of 60s horror, 60s fantasy, this is going to be absolutely fantastic, and I'm really, really stoked to be checking out the complete Fu Manchu box set. And that's it. That is my reasonably large collection update of Blu-rays and DVDs. I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching.